Today is May 3rd, 2025, and I am at Lake Vermillion and Soudan Underground Mine State Park in St. Louis County, Minnesota. Hey, good morning. Big day today, 2 parks, and one of them is kind of a two-parter park in and of itself, so that's fun. We're getting going. Ignore all the stuff in the back seat. Surprise for later. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say, because, like, I don't want to... Well, I already said we're at Lake Vermillion Soudan Underground Mine State Park. We're gonna go to another one after that, which, if you know where that one is, you could probably guess which one, because it's, like, 10 miles away. But, I don't know, I'm excited. Right, well, see you when I get there, I guess. A little baby over there. Well, they have spots, but very small. Okie dokie, we made it. I made up so much time on the GPS, and then it kept trying to send me to the entrance that is completely barred, and would not go to the other one no matter what I did. So I just had to kind of figure it out on my own, and I lost all the time I made up. But we're here. We're gonna do the hiking club trail, mining trail. And I'll probably actually, like, go off it a little bit to go down and see, oh boy, lighting, Stunts Bay, where Lake Vermillion is my goal. But I got 2 maps, the small one that is just like this side, and then there's the bigger one that shows also the Lake Vermillion side. I don't think I'm going to go all the way there, unless I really want to. But I'm hot, so I'm going to get out of this car, because it's like a little bit warm right now. Because there is that deer that is having a good time over there. We're gonna go that's like either the entrance or the exit to this trail. We're gonna take the other way, specifically because of that. Park ranger also told me that this is probably the better way to go, just because then you're going downhill the steepest part instead of uphill, and the rest is pretty much so flat, so that's why we're heading this way. This is the Miners Trail. It's also the hiking club trail, so. I'm very excited. It's kind of fun because I know, like, Vermillion Soudan Mine is, I think, a more well-known park. Maybe it's just that Lake Vermillion is more a well-known lake. And also, you know, Soudan Underground Mine is kind of a fun thing to visit, but not a ton of people here. However, he did say that they are doing some, like, trail marking and stuff up here, and most of the buildings will be locked because of that, so probably won't see a ton inside the buildings, but we're heading up to the mine part, so, like, yeah, there's a lot of historical stuff here, in addition to, obviously the nature aspect of it all. Anyway, so there's that, so you can see the Miners Trailhead. So technically this road part is part of it, but we're here. So we're gonna do, it's a 3-mile loop. Okay, that's not that bad, honestly. But we're here. So we're gonna basically look at this little loop here and then go down, I think. Hold on. Now I've gotten myself confused. So I started here, and I'm now here. We're just gonna maybe just kind of walk through. Again, we can't really go in any of the buildings because they're closed, but there's the drill shop. I mean, maybe we can look at these a little bit. See kind of the outside stuff at least. So, what do we got here? Right. So they made out the mine. They filled them with iron and then they made them out of iron. Ooh, there's rocks in there. I'm too short, but you can see them. I just barely see them in there, which is why it's like a periscope. Oh, that's cool. So the car, so this part stayed flat and the rest of the car, like, unhooked and tipped to its side. That's interesting. because our loop is along this side. Oh yeah, because this is where the lookout is. Actually, I have been here before, but I mostly was spending it on the Lake Vermillion side because it was camping here with some family. And then as we left, we kind of went over to look at the actual like mines part before we left. So we'll shop that way like we just saw. Stockpile trestle is over here. I bet this is the lookout. If we take this little bit down here. And buildings are closed, of course, but taking a look. So it'll be kind of fun to mostly spend it on the Sudan side. The Sudan side's actually older. The Vermilion part was added later on. I really kind of want to get like a lens that you can see a little more in detail the entire vista, because it feels like it goes on forever. But like, it gets so blurry for you so quickly. I don't know if I'm allowed to go up here, but there's clearly a trail down here, so I'm going to... Maybe this is more like the, oh, you maybe shouldn't be here. Ooh, milkweed. For the monarch butterflies, they love that part. It's like the perfect amount of overcast where it's not that cold, but like, I'm not really hurting my eyes, if that makes sense. Which is maybe like a silly thing to be like, oh, it's so perfectly overcast, but like, they're still blue, but the clouds are like puffy white and not gray at all. I checked the weather and it's not supposed to rain, but if that's changed, I'm gonna be sad. Anyway, so this part here, if that building were open, I believe we could go through the building and back, but it's not. So we're gonna head back this way around, but that's the drill house. I love being in this area of Minnesota where you can see, like, you can literally see the iron and the rock formations. It's so fun. Mine rescue room. I wish I knew it was in there, but locked. Right, we got here head frame and shaft. Yeah, U.S. Steel Corps is the one who originally owned it. All we're really learning about me is that I like really enjoy being the only person here. The fact that everything's closed and no one else would want to be here, it really works for me. Oh yeah, here's our, whoa, all those there. Let's take a look over here at the view, because I'm a fan of a good view. Where we're at right now here, so we rode out, looks like, yeah, basically we're gonna follow the parking lot out here. Alright, let's take a look over here. I'm betting this is the Monument 12 because the picnic area is right over there. So map wise this seems right. I wonder if the sign has a 12 on it. That'd be really helpful for me. Alright. Well, it doesn't, but I'm betting this is what it is. Yeah, I know what I was expecting. Let's see over here. Fun! We're finally on like the hiking club trail part for the Miners Trail. So we're heading east on our loop, because that's north. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna be tricked by the Fae. That's where they'd have me go. Anyway. I'm gonna add a little bit to see the lake. Oh, I was about to say, we haven't gotten the other end of the Speedtown loop joining up with us. It's right there. So, we are now probably about the same that we just walked. I have to walk that much further to get to that little offshoot to go down to look at the lake, to Stunts Bay. And then once we get there, I'm excited. I would like to see the water. I don't know. I feel like for some reason right now I'm so used to having someone to like talk to. Like we were just like experienced Split Rock with Liv, went to Camden with Hannah, and obviously I went to like Savannah Portage between that, but I don't know. I feel like I'm like oh, I wish I had someone to like talk with right now, and it's just me. Not that I can't talk to myself. Obviously there's plenty of video evidence of me just, you know, talking straight to the camera like this, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. There's a chickadee nearby. Okay, so stop ahead means we're approaching this here, because it's not actually a trail, that's a road that we're going to take down. And I actually did see that road earlier when I misread the sign and thought that the park office was this way and not over by the mine. So, we're essentially taking the road down to the trailer access point where we'll see the lake. Also down at the lake is the smokestack and compressor house thing. So we'll be able to see that while we're there anyway. So that'll be fun, I think. But yeah, so we are now just on the road. So, you know, there's that. But I feel like it'll be fine. I'm sure this felt like a lot shorter when I was driving on it, but I think it's like half a mile from this point. So we're adding on like a mile, which isn't that bad. But I'm excited for the lake. I see down there, there's the turn left to go down to the lake for the trailer access, so we're getting down there. It's also downhill right now, so it's very quick, but I'm sure when I am going back that way, it's going to be so much slower just from that metric. But I feel like I'm going really quickly, and it's just like, yeah, it's because you're at an angle right now, my dear. Right. Well, I think that's probably our smokestack, and then here's our lovely, lovely lake. Oh, I'm so excited. So, smokestack, now we come left of the compressor house. Yeah, we can take a look over here. It seems to be mostly ruins, honestly. But we could walk on it because that's all a fence like fallen off, but I feel like we're not supposed to, so. Fun. Obviously this is the trailer entrance, but woo. As expected, uphill was worse, but I did eat a sandwich while I was walking up, so hopefully that will tide me over till I get to the car. I can eat there. Well, I'm gonna keep walking then, and shut up so I can catch my breath. We got some lowlands here that we're gonna navigate our way through. A tree route. Alright. Originally inhabited by the Ojibwe people, this park takes half of its name from Lake Vermillion, which was originally called Onamuni, which is an Ojibwe word which means Lake of the Sunset Glows. This would then be translated into vermilion by French fur traders who named it after the color, also referencing the sunsets. Lake Vermillion was also originally used as the international border between here in Canada when the French ceded Canada to Great Britain following the French Indian War. This is pre-American Revolution. The border would later be moved further up with other deals that so that Lake Vermillion is completely in Minnesota. In 1865, rumors of gold brought miners to this area, but instead of gold, what they found in this area is that it was rich in iron ore, leading to the creation of the mine in this area. Now, if you know anything about Minnesota history, arguably the two biggest industries that kind of built up this state's economy to become what it is today were logging, of course, and then iron, of which this mine is the oldest and deepest in all of Minnesota. Both the logs would then go out down the rivers, St. Louis, St. Croix, Mississippi would all flow down to the cities, whereas the iron would be shipped out on Lake Superior. Anecdote, if you know the Gordon Lightfoot song, that is what the Edmund Fitzgerald, which I actually have tattooed on me, was carrying when she sank on Gitchagumi. By 1890, the mining operation was converted to an underground mine, which brings us to the second half of this park, Soudan Underground Mine, which is actually the original half. The Lake Vermillion side was added on later on. The name Soudan comes from a joke that mining captain Elisha Morecombe hailed from Cornwall, England, and he did a lot of the coal mining operations there, as well as then doing some coal, other mining in Michigan. Although when he came to direct the Soudan underground mine for iron, he actually found Minnesota winters so much colder than anything he'd experienced ever, like in Michigan, in England, that he had joked that it was like being in Sudan, referencing the polar opposite climate of the country Sudan in Africa. An O at some point made its way into the name as part of a misspelling, and the joke eventually kind of stuck with the miners around, leading to it gaining the name Soudan Underground Mine. The mine operated until 1962, when following World War II, the cost to operate it grew more than the profit that it was generating, and in 1963 it was donated to the state. A lot of history, but moving on to more of the geology, how did all of this iron get into this area of Minnesota? I'm going to have to be referencing this a lot because it's a lot of complicated geology. So, millions of years ago, when this area was underwater volcanoes deposited low-grade iron, and over the course of years, like a long, long time, because, you know, Earth movement, generally, very slow moving. Folds and compressions of the Earth's crust basically push the seafloor upwards to become this area here that is now above water. And with that, they exposed the ore deposits to the weather. Glaciers, as we see with most of Minnesota, then flowed south from the Arctic, altering the landscape. And when they retreated back north, they left debris on the surface. They did that 4 separate times. And that all culminated with an exported outcrop of hematite in the region, which is iron. If you know, like, what hemophobia is, it's if your blood knows in blood, iron, hema, it's iron. Getting a little bit more current, if you're perusing the landscape now, you'll be in an old growth pine forest. White and Norway pine, as well as balsam, aspen, and birch cover the upland area, and then the lowlands are mostly white cedar, with balsam, tamarack, black spruce, ash, and muskeg. The underground mine is closed for tours at the moment, but besides that, the most obvious feature of the park is Lake Vermillion, which some go fishing on, and the steep bird balloon can be spotted on the lake. Other wildlife to keep an eye out for are northern songbirds, hawks, and owls, as well as white-tailed deer, black bears, timber wolves, fishers, and more. If you are planning to visit, the park is right outside of the town of Sedan. Tower is like 2 miles away, but if you're thinking of like what's a city reference point, Ely is about 20 miles away. If you go a little further up, 169. But if you are looking to visit, we are 94 miles from Duluth, 250 miles from St. Cloud, and 221 miles from the Twin Cities. But you can kind of tell these ones have been in the sun and wind together quite a lot because of the way they've melted and bent. Have fun. Okay. So, that's not the trail, but that's all I believe that's the snowmobile trail, which is the pluses, and then we're heading this way, which is where it says no snowmobiles, because this is the rest of it. And then we're heading up here, and we'll see that fun rock by the park nature mansion, which I'm excited to see. Because no! Fun. Alright. We're coming up on the Alaska shafted engine house, which means soon we'll be able to see that cool geological feature that's been studied a lot. So here's the Alaska shaft, this thing up here, and then I'm gonna go this way even if I'm kind of tired. I'd like to just take a shortcut, but we want to see the cool rock, so we're gonna head this way, following the arrow. But we'll take a look first. That looks like a bat box, as in bats sleep there. So that's fun. Caw, 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 caw. I hope this is what he was talking about, because, oh my god, this is so fun. I don't know if this is like it, but holy cats. Oh, wow. This has got to be the geological feature that they were talking about, because what the hell? It's cool as hell. Yeah. This is absolutely it. We're right here. So, alright. Yeah, final thoughts. It's a good park. I think that when the mines open, it's a little bit more exciting. I think that it's easier to get in. And then, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be pretty similar to when I'm at Bearhead, you know, Northwoods, and I love our Northwoods. That's why some of the Northwoods parks are some of my favorites, but closing thoughts, it's good. Really didn't see anybody else here hiking. That's kind of fun, but I need to go to the sign, and then I need to take a quick break from hiking, because I'm a little tired. Oop. I think our friend went through here. Yep. So they just kind of stop right here. Interesting. Yeah, I bet. Oh, there's still snow down there. You know what? And Mindy and I will do.